Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my Level Up friends. I hope you're amazing. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm excited today. As always, we're going to be talking about something today that I think is a really important conversation to have, especially in today's world. So what we're going to be talking about today is the power of self-discipline in a very distracted world. So here's the reality. We are living right now in probably the most distracted generation in history. I, I mean, if you just think about notifications and you think about scrolling and you think about comparison and you think about Netflix and you think about excuses and you think about comfort and you think about convenience, and yet everyone says that they want more income, more impact, more confidence, more success, more freedom. But here's a truth that nobody really wants to say out loud. You don't get more by wanting more. You get more by becoming more. Now, I say that out loud all the time, but that is the truth. Like, wanting is actually the lowest form of energy. When we say we want a bigger business, we want to be healthy, we want to meet somebody amazing, we want to lose weight, we're actually pushing all of those things away from us. And so the way we attract all of those things in our life is actually becoming the person who eats healthy, moves their body well. You know, when you think about relationships, the person who becomes confident, has self-respect, has standards. When we talk about business, it's not about wanting a bigger business. It's about becoming a bigger leader and having that discipline and living in your word and doing what you said you're going to do. And so the bridge between who you are and who you want to be is one word: discipline. 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 Here's what I love about discipline. It is challenging. It's so tempting to not do what needs to be done, right? But discipline is the entire difference in leveling up your life, not motivation, because you could be motivated for a really short period. You could go to a conference, you could listen to a podcast, you'd be like, I'm so motivated, I can do this. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, 2 minutes later, it's like, squirrel, what happened? I'm on Instagram and I'm looking to see what Susie's brother's uncle's dog ate for breakfast. Like, it's so distraction. So it's not motivation, it's not hype. It's not vision boards, as much as I love them. Those are not the bridge between who you are and what you desire in life. It's discipline. So today we're going to break down why discipline is your advantage. Having discipline is your advantage. Why do most people never develop? Everybody can develop discipline, but most people won't. And how can you start building it today? Friends, if you listen to this when the episode is being dropped, we're in March. It's the beginning of March. Things where I live, so I live in New Jersey, things are hopefully starting to get a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier, a little bit brighter, and you have so much year left to build the business that you desire. So when we think about why are we addicted to distraction? Like, why? We know it doesn't benefit us. We know it doesn't grow us. We know we're not going to level up by being distracted, but we are living in this dopamine economy. So every single thing that you're watching, that you're seeing, that you're hearing is engineered to steal your focus. Social media platforms are literally designed to keep you scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Notifications are engineered to interrupt you, to interrupt your life, to interrupt your focus. Streaming platforms autoplay just the next episode, the next episode, the next episode. And before you know it, you're like 6 episodes in and you've literally been so undisciplined. You don't even have to choose distraction anymore because you know what happens? Distraction chooses you. It chooses you. And here's the real dangerous part. Distraction, for the most part, it just feels harmless, right? It's just 10 minutes. I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to scroll for 10 minutes. I deserve this. I'm going to get right back to what I'm focused on. But here is what's really happening. Every single time you choose distraction over discipline, you are not only creating a pattern and creating a habit, but you're reinforcing a pattern. So you're teaching your brain to love comfort over commitment. I love to sit on the couch. I love to scroll. I love to see what Aunt Susie is doing. I want to see what this one's doing in their business. And so what happens over time? That becomes your identity. You're living in a state of comfort. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. So like really examine, what are your habits? What are your distractions? And in a distracted world, discipline becomes really rare. Now, if you realize this and you could let this empower you, this could be your superpower. How about you being one of those people that say, I'm going to be undistracted. I'm going to develop discipline. That you're literally going to have the edge over so many, which means if you develop it, you immediately separate yourself. When you develop discipline in a distracted world, which is rare, you are immediately separating yourself from the rest. So friends, how do you become the best? You become the best by being different than the rest, different than most. And here's the thing about discipline. It is a form of self-respect. So I really want to shift your perspective. And so most people think of discipline as punishment, right? Like it's restrictive. I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to do that. It's rigid. They think of it as boring. They think of it as really intense, but that is not what discipline is. What discipline is, if you could really affirm this and believe this and write it down and reread it, discipline is simply self-respect in action. It's I respect myself, I respect my goals, I respect my future, I respect my why, I respect my word, and so I'm going to live in a state of discipline. When you wake up and you work out, you know what you're telling yourself? I matter. My health matters. When you keep your word and do what you say you're going to do, you're telling yourself, I'm trustworthy. I can count on me, so other people can count on me. When you work your business instead of scrolling, what you're saying is my future matters more than my feelings. I'm disciplined. I'm a leader. Discipline is how you build your confidence. It's how you're building that level of self-respect. Because confidence doesn't come from affirmations. We could say affirmations, I am bold, I am smart, I am successful, I am a leader, but it comes from evidence. It's taking action on those affirmations, evidence that you do what you say you're going to do. And every time you break a promise to yourself, if you say I'm going to do X amount of reach outs, or I'm going to fill up my calendar, or I'm going to do this, every time you break that promise, you know what happens? Your confidence drops. That's where the feeling of unworthiness comes from. That's when the lack of confidence comes from. That's where the lack of belief comes from. Your confidence drops every single time you break a promise to yourself. But you know what happens on the flip side? Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence rises. It's actually that simple. Our confidence rises when we live in our word, when we do what we say we're going to do, when we become undistracted, when we develop discipline, we raise our confidence. And friends, we have 100% control over that. I want you to say it. It's that simple. I can do this. It's that simple. So here's the thing about motivation. We all get motivated from time to time. Motivation fades, but discipline doesn't. If you're actively building discipline, if you're consistently building discipline, the goal, the idea is that it's getting stronger every single day. So when we think about motivation, motivation is emotional. It's like, I just went to an amazing training. I went to, and I heard my service and I feel so motivated, or I listened to a podcast and I feel so motivated. Like somebody got to you on an emotional level, but very often it's a spark. and it's temporary. And so again, you could feel motivated after a podcast, after a conference, after a book, after a great meeting, after setting a new goal. But what happens when you're tired? This is where discipline is so important. You will feel tired. You will feel fear from time to time. You will feel doubt. What are you going to do when you feel stressed? What are you going to do when nobody's clapping for you? What are you going to do when it's raining? What are you going to do when the results aren't there? They don't reflect the effort that you've put in. That's where discipline lives. And what discipline will say is, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. I don't feel like it, but I have too much respect for myself not to do it. I don't feel like it, but my why is more important than my why not. I don't feel like it, but I said that I would. And that sentence alone is what separates winners from wishers. Everybody could wish for a great life. Everybody could wish to level up. Everybody can wish for more income. Everybody can wish to be in better shape. But the gym at 5 a.m., or if you're like me, I could go whenever I want during the day. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I don't want to go to the gym at 5 a.m. I want to go at 8 a.m. Okay. But no matter when you're going to go to the gym, that's discipline. Making calls and continue to make calls when nobody answers, that's discipline. Working when no one is watching, nobody's breathing over your neck, nobody's forcing you to do it, that's discipline. You don't need to feel good to move forward. You need to move forward to feel good. 2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, founder, boss. One powerful move puts the future firmly in your hands. Starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a craft everyone tells you to sell, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/levelup. Go to shopify.com/levelup. That's shopify.com/levelup. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. And so what happens in today's world is so many people are waiting for that feeling. I want to feel good to move. I want to feel good to pick up the phone. I want to feel good to show up. No, you do those things and then you feel good. That's the difference. And so what we want to create is an identity shift. And here's where most people get this so wrong. They try to do disciplined things without becoming disciplined. We have to become that person right now. It doesn't happen just by doing. It's about becoming. And that doesn't work long term just by doing more reach outs. You have to shift from I'm trying to be disciplined to I am a disciplined person. Identify as a disciplined person. That's what's called an identity shift, because disciplined people don't negotiate with their emotions. They don't say, well, do I feel like it? Is it exciting me today? They say, this is who I am. I'm disciplined. And here's like a really good example. You brush your teeth every day. Do you have to wait to feel motivated to brush your teeth? Do you have to feel motivated to take a shower? You brush your teeth every day, not because you're motivated, but because that's who you are. You don't debate it. That's what we need to build our goals, simply non-negotiables. And here's a powerful truth. Self-discipline is not about doing more. It's about deciding in advance. So it's so many times people associate discipline with like just way more effort. It's just deciding to be a disciplined person. Decide what time you're waking up. Decide. Like today, I had a Bible study this morning with a really good friend of mine, Mo Boger. I love her to death. And it was at 7:30 my time. I don't normally set an alarm. I wake up every day around 6 a.m., not because I have to, but just because my body wakes up at that time. But and I have an internal alarm, but I know that I wake up at 6 o'clock. But if I have to wake up at 6 o'clock, like I set my alarm. I set my alarm today for 6 a.m. I decided that. You decide when you work. You decide when you work out. You decide when you shut your phone off. Pre-decisions eliminate weak moments, right? So if you say things like, I'm no longer using my phone after 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, you pick it. Okay. You live in that decision. Develop that discipline. If you want to, so like I'm somebody who gives up something for Lent. And so I'm like, I've worked really hard to make some changes in my health and in my body. And I'm really proud of those things. But every time and then sometimes we reach a goal, we like reach for a snack, even though it's a healthy snack. So during Lent, I'm giving up anything that's not in alignment with complete respect for my health and my body. So like I don't need those snacks. And so I'm giving that up. So because I've made that decision, I it eliminates the weak moments because I've decided. If you don't decide your day, your distractions will decide your day. And there is a cost of being undisciplined. So many times we think discipline has a cost. Being undisciplined has a cost. So this is a conversation that a lot of people avoid. There is a cost to not being disciplined. And a lot of times it's not immediate. So we don't think there's a cost. That's what makes it really dangerous. But the cost shows up later. It shows up in missed opportunities. It shows up in average results. It shows up in regret. It shows up in like, what if? Like, what if I did things differently? What if I did what I said I was going to do? It shows up in watching other people like be growing and succeeding, and you're like sitting there on the side of the road. It shows up in wondering why others are growing and you aren't. So undisciplined days create disappointed years. Like friends, I say this all the time, but we have no life and we have no life. We have one life and no dress rehearsal. Like when we have disappointed years, a lot of times it's because we made undisciplined choices. You don't wake up one day failing. You wake up one day realizing that you've been inconsistent. And that's something that you have the power to change right now or improve right now. Small daily disciplines feel hard in the moment, but regret is so much heavier. And here's what I know: the pain of discipline is temporary, the pain of regret is forever. So every single day, we have an opportunity to choose our pain. So, what are some things that we could do to build discipline? Like, I want you to get excited. Like, you could be like, you know what? I am lacking a little bit of discipline, or I can improve my discipline, right? Because this is not about hype. This is about executing the success we desire, the goals. It is about leveling up. So, number one, start small. I want to say start big, but let's start small. Okay. Win daily. So, you're not going to overhaul your life overnight. And that's what people try to do. It's like, all of a sudden, they go from not exercising, not eating well, really not being consistent in their business. And all of a sudden they're like, I am going to exercise twice a day. I'm never going to eat a carb again. I'm going to reach out like crazy for 24 to 48 hours. They burn themselves out. And in 24 hours, like, this is just so hard. This is ridiculous. Okay. So some of us need to start a little bit smaller. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Do a 20-minute workout. Have 30 minutes a day of focused work. Have at minimum 10 pages a day of reading. And what happens is all of these small wins, they stack. They stack. That's how you create momentum. Discipline grows from consistency, not intensity. And too many people try to be super intense. They don't get the results that they want. And then all of a sudden, like, it's not worth being disciplined. It is always worth being disciplined. Number two, remove temptation. So stop relying on willpower, because environment beats intention. A lot of us have the best intentions. We do. We have the best intentions. But if your phone distracts you, put it in another room. If junk food tempts you, don't buy it. If social media steals your time, delete it during working hours. Discipline isn't about being superhuman. Like, I don't know about you guys, but every now and then, like, I just pick up my phone. I don't even realize that I'm like on it. Like, I was just on whatever app I was on, and like, why am I there again? So, it's not about being superhuman. We are not superhuman. We're so imperfect, but it is about being strategic. So, number three, make some non negotiables in your life. So, I don't know, pick three. And so, mine for me would be like moving my body, working on income producing activity, and personal growth no matter what. Like, no matter what. So, rain or shine, good mood, bad mood. And so, what happens is pick your three or four or five or 10, whatever. And that's an identity reinforcement. It's like you're now identifying as somebody who wakes up early, who does personal growth, who moves their body, they're healthy, they're leveling up their life. Number four, stop negotiating with yourself. And this one is really big because the moment you start negotiating and you think or say things like, I'll do it later, I'm just going to skip today, I deserve a break, you're weakening the discipline muscle. Do it when you say you will, and that's it. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, I'm done. If you say you're going to move your body 30 minutes a day, think about how much time we all waste. Like 30 minutes a day is nothing. Number five, track your integrity. So at the end of the week, really do like a deep dive. Ask yourself, did I keep my word to myself? So maybe have like a, I don't know, like a check mark thing for moving my body, reading, all the things. So ask yourself at the end of the week, did I keep my word to myself? And that question alone will change your life because success is an integrity game. You, in order to build integrity with other people, in order to be a leader and grow your influence, you have to have integrity with yourself. You have to have influence over yourself. If you can't influence yourself to get up and move your body and read, then people wonder why they are where they are in their business. Really think about that. How can you influence somebody else to become their best self when you bargain with habits, successful people habits? Discipline equals freedom. Discipline is the bridge from where you are and where you desire to be. And here's the twist. Most people think discipline takes away your freedom, but it actually is the bridge that creates your freedom. So if you think about financial freedom, what does that require? Discipline, saving and earning. You need to be focused on earning money and focused on saving money and focused on paying your taxes and focused on investing, focused on putting away for retirement. It requires discipline to create. You're not going to wake up one day and be financially free, okay? When you think about physical freedom, it requires disciplined health habits. So when we think about physical freedom, it's walking without pain. It's like, I know for me, I'm 54 years old. When I'm moving my body so regularly, because when I'm 75 and I'm 85 and on, I don't want to have physical restrictions. I want to have physical freedom. And so that requires me to have discipline today for my future. And when you think about time freedom, it requires disciplined priorities. So undisciplined people, they're slaves to their emotions, their cravings, their circumstances, their distractions. Disciplined people design their lives, and design equals freedom. And I want you to get excited to realize and understand how much power you have in your choices and your habits. So here's what I want to leave you with, okay? For the next 7 days, I want you to pick at least one thing, okay, that you're going to do daily no matter what. You're going to pick at least one, ideally five, as a non negotiable. And you're going to prove to yourself that you are the person that follows through. Again, when you follow through, it's building self respect, it's building trust in yourself. If you can't trust yourself, how do you expect others to trust you? Why would people follow you? Here's what I want you to understand. Your life will not change when you feel ready. Your life will change when you become disciplined. In a distracted world, focus is power. You will have an edge up on everyone. In an emotional world, discipline is stability. There's a lot of people that are not so emotionally stable. right now, right? Whether it's reading stuff that's not true in the news, whether it's picking sides, whether it's what we're living in a very distracted, divided world. In an average world, consistency is rare, but I want you to be rare. I want you to be different. I want you to be the leader that you were born to be. This is your reminder that you are capable of more. You are built for more, but you must train yourself for more. Discipline isn't sexy. Discipline isn't glamorous. Discipline is not viral, but it is powerful and it does compound. And this is your time and this is your year to level up your discipline in a very distracted world and separate yourself from the rest. You do not become the best by being like the rest. Love you, friends.